there, you've joined me on an absolutely amazing 28-29 degrees summer day, and today I'm here to talk to person of indecision, person thinking about getting a bike. So this is for the person thinking about getting a bike right now, for whatever reason. Sometimes it's just because you're thinking about it but you've not done it. For some of you it might be a logistical thing to do with COVID and thinking, well, I normally use public transport and I don't want to do that now, so I'd like to have some different way of travelling, cars are too expensive. Bike is the option. Bike is the option. Yeah, okay, e-bike and stuff like that, depending on where you live, how far from work and all of that, but if you have to travel distance, if you need to drive and you have a choice between a bike and a car and you can go with the route of getting a bike, get a bike. Bikes have made such a difference to my life in so many positive ways. You can use them for isolation if you just want to be on your own and experience getting out there and getting some fresh air and just letting your mind clear out. It's fantastic for mental health. Or if you want the more social side to it, where you can go to bike cafes and stuff and meet people and discuss things. The biking community is a very nice, tight community of people. There isn't a lot of nastiness in it as far as I've seen. Of course there is on the extremities, but the core of these places, the people you'll meet are absolutely lovely and will do so much to help you. If bikers see other bikers broken down, they will normally stop just to be like, hey, are you okay, can I help with anything, do you need a phone, do you call anyone? They're going to do that. They might not be able to give you all the time in their day because they're going to go places and stuff, but they'll normally stop and check you're okay out of courtesy. Or someone like me comes along and goes back home and gets you a whole new replacement clutch cable and comes and fits to your bike at the side of the road. I did that for a subscriber a few years ago. There is a video on it. As is there a playlist called Motorcycle Tips for New Riders, which is a sort of 44 video long series of videos, which is basically you don't have to watch the whole lot, but it covers everything about bikes, like from licensing to what tests you take and what you can ride, what ages, and all. It's all covered in individual videos which are in that playlist. You want to know an answer, go to it and go through. Everything's covered. There is nothing like riding a bike on a day like today just through the countryside like this for just calming you. Like, I have been stressed the past few days. I'm currently doing a bike build and I've had some problems come up and it's been stressing me out. I have zero stress right now. Zero. I don't feel an ounce of worry in my body. It is just bliss, peacefulness. You see, this is the thing. To some people, bikes are just a form of transport and they might never get that side of it. For others, like me and many of the people who get the bug, as it's called, once it's in your system, you can't get it out. You live for it, and if you can't ride it, you kind of get sad because of it. Now, of course, there is a side to bikes, which we must mention, which is the safety side, and people say, oh, bikes are dangerous. Yes, bikes can be dangerous in the wrong hands, as can spoons. Okay, yes, other people have to work out for, and if you're on a bike, well, you come off worse in those situations like that pheasant. But then you have to look after yourself, like watching out for this blind turning right here. Rather than blasting past it at 60 miles an hour, slow down. It's things like that, you just look after yourself. And there's also another side, which is people say, oh, I don't really want to get cold and wet and all of these things. Go over it, you can deal with it, trust me. You'll toughen up quite quickly. I know it seems like something you wouldn't want to do, but there's gear for all seasons, all conditions. However, the reality is what you're seeing me wear now in 28, 29 degree weather is exactly what I wear in the winter. -2, -5, whatever. The coldest I've ridden is -7. Basically the exact same thing. The only difference is I have like a waist jacket that goes inside. This is a bit quilted and I wear a neck scarf. 28 degrees, I feel comfortable right now. Why? Because I'm moving. If I don't, yeah, it's going to get a lot worse. I know people think about doing these things for, a long time, and they're always waiting for that thing to give them the kick up the butt. Normally that's a friend or something like that, but if you don't have a biker friend, it gives you that kick up the butt, gives you the guiding hand through all the questions. You may not, make that leap, and maybe this could be that for you. The playlist is there to answer your questions. There is a community of motovloggers and bikers online who will happily answer your questions. Yes, you're going to get lots of different answers sometimes. You've just got to work out who are the right people to ask, and I'm not saying that I'm the right person to ask, but you need a balance of everything. Choosing the bike you want is another thing that people get stuck on. The reality is this, it's simple, no one can answer that for you. They need to know what you like, what you need the bike to do, where you need to go and how you want to use it. This has a lot of implications in this. But if I was to give you a general rule of thumb, look at the bike you like the look of and get it. But it would be more sensible to find out if that bike can do the things that you need it to do first. Like, do you need to go on motorways a lot? Do you need to carry lots of stuff? Are you tall? Are you short? Are you bigger or smaller? All of these things will have differences as to what you can and can't do using different bikes. But there is a bike for everyone out there. And it doesn't need to be the most expensive, and it doesn't need to be the best. So if you've got the money, you're in a position you can do it, and the only thing you're waiting for is that kick up the butt to go and do it, go and do it. If you're one of these people that's like, I would love to go and do it, Spicy, I really would, but I can't afford to do it. I was there for a long time. And I've used cheap, bikes the whole time that I've used bikes. I start with, as people would call them, rubbish Chinese 125s. Well, that's a whole subject of its own, and I've had them for years, and I think they're alright. The ones I've talked about and reviewed. I can't speak for the ones I've not ridden, I believe everyone should ride bikes. I think the world would be a better place if people all rode bikes for general transport. If they're going to ride, driving a car on your own, get a bike. If you regularly take people, one's okay on the back, does change riding a little bit. If you need to take multiple people, that is something that bikes can never really replace, I know. It's the only way I get around that. But so often you see people driving around in cars, there is just one person in there, and you're like, you could be having so much more fun right now. Instead of being in that box stuck in traffic, you could be out on a bike absolutely loving what you're doing. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy your car, and I'm not saying that you can't get the experience that you get on a bike and a car, but in my experience from talking to people, generally cars are transport, but oh god, I don't even want to say the cheesy saying, 4 wheels move the body, 2 wheels move the soul. Oh god, it's cringy as hell. I don't like that saying, but I get it. I do understand their point. So I've obviously tried to keep this to the more positive, sensible side of riding, but there is another side of riding which I cannot deny exists, which is this. You can buy a bike for £1,000, £1,500, and it will outperform most supercars. This bike is a sports tourer. A sports tourer which revs to 12,000 RPM and sounds like this. Sorry, side turning, I had to use the brakes there. My point is, this bike does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. That is faster than many, many cars. But that doesn't mean drive like an ob. You should follow the rules, pass as you wish. He's actually moving some. The national speed limit I'm going to keep relatively sensible, because that's the sort of rider I am, to look ahead and not be able to stop in the distance I can see. Simple rules. You can look after yourself. I've done videos on this as well. Many near misses can be avoided. You will notice the people screaming from the rooftops the most about the near misses and people trying to kill them is new riders, I'm afraid, and partially it's because they haven't chilled out yet to just accept when these sorts of things happen, because everyone makes mistakes, but also because they haven't quite formed the sixth sense you get with experience to know and just basically just calm down a bit. But also, be more proactive yourself and to remove yourself from bad situations. I'd love to lean really fast into this corner and come around here and discover there's something right there I'd hit. I'm also very tall, so I don't fit in cars very well. Bikes are better for me that way. I can just never imagine the visceral experience of a bike in a car, because no matter how connected to the road and everything you are, and I'm not going to take anything away from car drivers here who do get that with cars, because I don't know, I'm not experiencing it. But without having that engagement of the wind rushing through, the smells, all of that sort of stuff, right now I'm going to be sensible here because I can't see around the corner. Without that, I don't see it being quite the same. I mean, a good suggestion I would make to people, if you want to experience riding, is there is different bodies out there which will help you experience riding, help you get onto bikes. It's funded by like the biking community, biking places, like dealerships and stuff. I think they pay for it because obviously it helps get them more customers. But if not, you could just go and take a CBT. You don't need a theory or anything like that. You can borrow their equipment, although it might be a bit rank. But you can have an experience of paying 80 to 120 pounds, something like that, depending on where you go. Do your CBT, get your CBT, see what you think of it. If you like bikes, stick with it. If not, well, whatever. It was, you've not chucked out tons and tons of money, bought all the gear, bought a bike, got the insurance, blah blah blah, and then said it wasn't for you. If you found this video helpful, useful, or even just a bit entertaining, please hit that like button, I really would appreciate it. If you're new here, you can subscribe, just keeping an eye on this person's front wheels, that's a good tip. Cars don't move unless the wheels do. And if you want to help support this channel, consider joining my Patreon for $1 a month. Lots of benefits, as I will describe in a minute at the end of the video. Catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to see future videos. This channel is made possible by the support of the audience. Please consider joining my Patreon to get early access to videos, questions answered in the monthly Q&A, your name on screen, and some exclusive content, all for as little as $1 a month. You can also check out the links in the description to my merch and other ways to directly support the channel. Thanks for watching.